Yeah, what's going on, family? It's your man B Miles coming to you live once again with another live stream. Wanted to come back to y'all tonight for real, for another stream. Hope everybody is doing fine tonight. Hope everyone is doing pretty good tonight. Hope everyone is good tonight. Definitely gonna have another guest. Matter of fact, the same guest is gonna be on here. Right. Hope everybody is doing pretty good. Hey Brandon Paul. Hey Asa. All right. What's up, Q Man KCP? All right, there we go. All right, Asa, my fault, my fault. Hey, Malika Brown, yeah, my fault, yeah, my fault. Apologize for the definitely want to apologize, for the lateness and all that. What's up, North? What's going on? Hey, Willie Rivers, ACP. Yeah, I'm actually waiting for the guests to come through. Hope everyone is doing pretty good. Hey, Lucy. Hey, Annette Moore. Hey, Clarissa Gilchrist. Hey, RC Pants. Hey, Thaddeus Wendell Newton. What's going on? All right, I'm just still waiting on the guests. Hey Sean Casara, what's going on? Yeah, I'm still waiting on the guests to come through. Yes, but otherwise we definitely wanted to finish it off tonight. Mm. Yeah, y'all, we definitely wanted to finish it off tonight, close it out and just I'm still, waiting on the guests to come through. But I hope everybody is doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely will say like if the guests don't come through, I definitely will say definitely want to move definitely want to go ahead and move forward. But if not, probably yeah, because I know how important this stuff really is to y'all. You feel me? But I hope everybody is doing fine. I hope everybody is doing okay. Hey, what's up, Video Files 99? What's going on, Chancey McCray? Yeah, but like I said, it's definitely a good time, for what's coming down, you know what I mean, for what's coming down the pipe, and also as well, man, for the things that we've been talking about. Hey, Crystal Wilson, hey, Boulder Rockets. Yeah, right, yeah, man. But otherwise, I'm doing okay. All right. Mm, I'm just still waiting right now. But otherwise, let me ask y'all a real quick question, man. How many of y'all have really been enjoying the information that y'all been hearing and seeing lately on the platform? How do y'all feel about the information? Hey, Strawberry Spice, what's going on, Jamel? Excuse me. Oh yeah, StreamYard is pretty decent. I like it. Definitely say no doubt, appreciate it. What's going on, Dre? Working? Yeah, come. Yeah.
Yeah, I got Isaiah on the phone. He I don't know if he's supposed to click on. Is he? Let me put him on speaker. Yeah, you there, bro? Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, I'm looking at. He's trying to find the stream yard that add him on.
The link.
Yeah.
Um. Do I gotta like or the matter of fact go to matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna go to invite.
Okay. He's gonna go to invite. And
Okay, I'm gonna copy this.
he's like, I said, I thought you was going to sleep.
Cool.
You?
Almost dead.
I figured. I told him I said I think he's going to sleep, but that's when you text him.
Go to Yahoo Gmail.
Go to Gmail, right? Yeah. Yeah.
You said
Nation build. You said building. Or build.
nation building. Mm-hmm.
9 at gmail.com.
All right, there we go.
All right. You should be having it sent to you soon. Just check your email.
Hey, what's up, Shay?
Hey, everybody coming in already, man.
Yeah, hey, y'all know right. Hey, what's up, Kirk Washington
They
Jr.?
waiting, boy.
Yeah, they definitely are.
You
Yeah.
can have me if you want me to.
All right. Hey, Becky C.
You found it on your email. Okay. What the hell?
Check your Gmail.
I'll check the email now.
Hey, what's up, Willie Rivers?
All right. Well,
all right, it's good to see y'all. Like I said, he's going to be coming on shortly.
Yeah, give him a second.
Let's give him a second. Do apologize
for the delay.
For the little delay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yo, he's coming on. Just bear with me.
All right.
Hey, DeWanda Nelson. Let's go to William Jolly Bay. Oh, okay, there he is. All right, there we go.
All right.
There you go. All right, wonderful. Peace, more Islam. Peace. Peace. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. It kind of sound like a robot a little bit.
Okay, let me see. Okay. All right, how's now?
I can see you, but it's like I can't really hear anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. Yo, so I apologize. I got kicked up out of it. All right. And can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Can y'all hear the brother Isaiah? Can you hear the brother? Number I'm Isaiah L.
Peace and love, everybody.
All right, can y'all hear us? Yeah, because we definitely want to go ahead. All right, okay, loud and clear, wonderful. All right, okay, cool. So everybody is I'm giving the thumbs up. They saying it's a go. So yes, we back again, and it's definitely going to be another great fire, another great stream, and definitely honored and privileged to have the brother back on here with the information that he's been bringing, and I'm really glad and honored that many of y'all have been really checking out the information that we've been giving to y'all, and also we still coordinating and preparing to start asking to be called in a lot of people. So it's been a lot of great things that's been going on, and we are really glad and honored to come back tonight on the stream like this, and to also feature this brother on here who's doing great work in our community.
Uh, okay, let me see. For the brother. Say they in there.
I'm sorry about that, y'all. Yes, I'm back. Can y'all see me? All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back. We yes, we
Okay.
back once again. All right, and like I said, we definitely back. Sorry for the technical difficulties once again. Uh, Minnesota, and I definitely will say for the information that he's bringing, and I definitely, I really want to give him a lot of props to this young brother. Young brother for taking time out of his time, taking time out of his day, to come to the people to bring forth some great information, and why we're doing this, and why we putting this together, and why this type of information needs to be brought to the people, because this is something that really applies to us. And I firmly believe that we really need to have our eyes and our ears open to this kind of information, because it's influence first. So without further ado, once again, we're going to bring on the brother, definitely on the purpose to bring him on once again, and brother Noble Isaiah L.
All right, peace and love, everybody. I'm definitely grateful to be a part of the platform again and be able to share with everybody. And definitely thankful for Brother B Miles. It's funny because I'll tell you a quick story. I actually seen Brother B Miles in the airport. I was traveling down south, and this was a while ago. I seen him in the airport, and he was he seen me, and he was screaming out peace and love, and I was like, wow, he didn't even know me from Joe Blow. And he just showed me love, and it's funny how the universe connected us again a couple years later, or what, couple months maybe. I think it might have been a couple months maybe. But the point is, we connected again through another brother, and uh, ever since then we've been building, and it's been great because we actually get a chance to have the same mind, have one mind, and try to restore our nation. So um, it's been fun for me, and it's been a journey. So I'm excited for what's in store. And tonight, um, I'm just gonna flow and try to um, impart some knowledge and wisdom that I discovered, and I want to definitely talk about the secret treaty of Verona. I don't know if anybody ever heard of that, but the secret treaty of Verona is in a congressional record. Okay, is in the congressional record um, of the Senate, 64th Congress, First Session, Volume 53, Part 7, page 6781, 6781. And this is from April 25th, 1916. Okay. Um, and I'll read the introduction. It says, I wish to put in the record the secret treaty of Verona of November 22nd, 1822, showing what this ancient conflict is between the rule of the few and the rule of the many. So he's about to tell you what the ancient conflict is. I wish to call the attention of the Senate to this treaty because it is the threat of this treaty which was the basis of the Monroe Doctrine. It throws a powerful white light upon the conflict between monarchical government and government by the people. The Holy Alliance, under the influence of Metternich, the Premier of Austria in 1822, issued this remarkable secret document. Okay, it's American Diplomatic Code 1778 through 1884, Volume 2, Elliott, page 179. Okay, and I'm going to get right into Article 3. It says, convinced that the principles of religion contribute most powerfully to keep the nations in the state of passive obedience, which they owe to their princes, the high contracting parties declare to be their intention to sustain in their respective states those measures which the clergy may adopt with the aim of ameliorating their own interests. So intimately connected with the preservation of the authority of the princes, and the contracting powers join in offering their thanks to the Pope for what he has already done for them, and solicit his constant cooperation in their views of submitting the nations. So this Article 3 tells you right here that all of the church leaders, all of the temple leaders, all of your synagogue leaders, all of your mosque leaders, and so on and so forth, all work for the Pope of Rome. And they all are under his submission. And he have overthrown the entire world, and they fall under his rule. He's taken the place of the Pharaoh from Egypt, Al-Kabilan. He cooked it. He actually is the Holy See, or he's calling himself the ruler of the earth. And this is the principle going back to the Bible. The principalities of powers that rule the earth is talking about the Pope and his overthrow of the world. Now, all of the clergy belong to the Pope, okay? And their job is to submit the people through religion, okay, to pacify them. Okay, that's what Article 3 say of this treaty. Okay, they contribute religion most powerfully to keep the nations in a state of passive obedience. So for everybody praying, marching, and all these different type of things, your preachers, your leaders, your deacons, your bishops, your knights, your elders, all of them are put in place specifically according to this, and this is in the United States Senate. You can look this up. This is in a congressional record. Their job is not to get these people to ascend spiritually and learn about the seven chakras and learn about how man has 12 gates and seven wheels within them to activate their higher consciousness. It's not about to activate your pineal gland. It's not about to activate your Merkaba, your own ship, the will within the will that is talked about in the Bible but never go expounded upon. Their job is not to help these people to build a nation or anything like that. It's to steal their estate, okay, and to submit them through religion, okay, by way of passive obedience. Okay, now a lot of the preachers, leaders, um, and I'm not throwing out anybody's name, but a lot of them have been getting our people to continuously look for answers in the sky while we're still living here. And the answers is right in front of us. In fact, a lot of the answers are in the scriptures of a lot of these different religious organizations, but they never teach people to look at them in that way. Um, so if you want to do your research, again, you look up Congressional Records, Senate 64th Congress, First Session, Volume 53, Part 7, page 6781. The Secret Treaty of Verona, or you can just type in Secret Treaty of Verona in a Google search or Bing search, and it'll pop up. And look at Article 3. I mean, look at all the articles because they go into a lot of detail about a lot of stuff. But this tells you who is actually running the world, the Pope. Okay, and every time he comes to visit different territories, he's actually giving orders. Okay, not greeting the people and everybody bowing down. He's actually going to give orders, and our people on this continent, we look at him as a religious figure, but the rest of the world look at him as a political figure. Okay, and there's a difference. He's running the world based off of politics. And when you look at the real history of uh, and the politics that go hand in hand with it, you'll see that in 2014 he wrote a letter to Obama talking about the United States Service Corporation, which is really a shell, which is really a company, not a government, that they set up to run and be trustees over our estate. He wrote a letter to Obama as his Obama is his employee. Every president is the employee under the Pope. Okay, he wrote a letter to him, and he was telling everyone, whether you are police, we don't say officers because when you call them officer in law, that's improper because they were not elected. Officers are elected. Okay, when they go to sign up for those positions, they get hired. They don't get elected. Okay, they fill out job applications. He told the police department, the heads of all public servants positions, to stand down and let the people um, reclaim their estate. He suspended all licenses to do business here at this land. Now, what does that mean? That is good for us as a people because when he suspended all license to do business, if you can just imagine if you were, let's say, a doctor and you wanted to go into a business and practice to help people, quote unquote, you have to get insurance. You have to get insurance just in case you injure someone. Now, if the Pope suspends your insurance, you can't practice lawfully, and you can be sued and put out of business immediately. But our people don't know that. So a lot of all of these businesses, their licenses are suspended. Okay, but they haven't told that to the public. Um, so whenever our people are getting shot down or detained and all these different things, you definitely need to go after their bonds and their insurance, okay? Because it's already suspended, and that's how you put these people out of business. Okay, so I just wanted to touch on that, um, and I want to show you how the Pope is ruling and committing international war crimes against the United Nations, the 206 sovereign nations. Okay, he's doing human trafficking. He's the head of the human trafficking ring, the pedophilia ring, the genocide against humanity. He's the head of it, and right now that's why you see a lot of them stepping down from those roles because they're actually putting out a warrant for his arrest, and they're going to bring charges against the entire seat of the Pope um, in the international court. Okay, for the crimes and genocide against humanity. Um, I just want to read this real quick. When we talk about tribes. Okay, and we talk about nationhood. I spoke with a brother earlier. He was asking me about, I don't know if you're watching, but uh, he was talking about the um, children of Israel and the children of Israel being a nation, going to the United Nations and trying to say that you are the children of Israel as a nationality. Um, I replied to the brother that you have to look at the children of Israel from multiple perspectives. Number one, you got to look at it from a political perspective, okay, a lawful legal perspective, a social engineering perspective, um, yes, a religious perspective, a scientific perspective, all these different perspectives at once so you can get the full picture. Because when they talk about children of Israel, there's a distinct difference between Israel and the children of Israel. And then when you break down the science, you're talking about, if everybody get a pen and piece of paper, okay, so you can write this down. Let me see. Well, I don't know if you'll be able to see the board, but I'm going to do this for you. If you get a pen and piece of paper, I'm going to help you out with some keys to Israel. Okay. Now, okay. So I want you to write on your paper Israel, just like this. Okay. And then when you look at Israel, this is an acronym for, this is an acronym for, right here. Here we go. This is an acronym for Isis, Amen, Ra, Elohim. Okay. Isis, Amen, Ra, Elohim. And this goes back to Al-Kabbalah. Isis is represents the feminine principle, right? The moon principle, the lunar principle. Okay, Ra, Amen Ra represents the sun god, Re, right? It represents the masculine principle, the solar principle. And then you have Elohim. Elohim represents the seven Elohas, or the seven creative spirits that created everything. Um, and that's the 7 days of the week. Okay, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and those are your seven angels or archangels that rule the 7 days of the week, the 7 days of the month, the 7 days of the year. Okay, there's no such thing as 365 days in a year. Okay, if it is, name them. Name all 365 days of the year if you can. That's not a trick question. Okay, there's only 7 days, and then they repeat themselves Sunday through Saturday. Okay, that's the teaching that they have taught our people to um, gravitate towards, but instead of using common sense, that's what they try. Israel, going back to Israel, Israel was broken up into tribes, and those tribes, okay, had a bloodline. And in law, when you look up Rahm Emanuel's proclamation, you'll see he revealed what that bloodline is. It comes from the Canaanite, Moabite, Amorite, Hittite bloodline. Okay, and that nation is broken up into different tribes, right, and different peoples from different territories. So if you're in London or the UK, you will be a Moor at London. If you're a Moor at um, China or wherever you'll be a Moor wherever you are. That's the bloodline, Moabite, Canaanite. Then we look at the Canaanite bloodline. I broke we went over the different territories in the East Coast yesterday, but then when you go further up, they was talking about going to Canaan's land. Canaan's land is actually modern day Canada. Okay, and this is where a lot of the overthrow was taking place there as well. Um, so nationality, when it comes to um, Israel, you can't say I am of the tribe of Israel or the nation of Israel, because in law that nation does not exist. Okay, you have to address the bloodline and pedigree first. Okay, and this bloodline runs deep. It goes to the Yoruba, it goes to the Dogon, it goes to the falsely called Aztec people, because we didn't call ourselves Aztec. It goes to the Atlanteans, the Lemurians. It goes to the children of Mu. The bloodline runs deep. Um, so, and that's why it's important to know your bloodline and do the research. And it doesn't take a hard task to do, because you can look it up in law, and it gives you some strong reference points, um, to a launch pad to go from. Do you have any questions so far?
I have a question. I have a question.
All right.
It's long, Mo. I have a question. So, why do our people get misconstrued with being Israelites?
Right. Well, when you look at Israel, okay, um, Israel, coming from that bloodline, again, those Canaanite, Amorite, Hittite, Moabite, Jebusites, all of those, right? You're coming from the actual nation. There's a distinct difference from being that nation, but then being a part of a different tribe that comes under that one nation. And I think they're putting the tribe before the nation, right? And then I hear a lot of them talk about being the children of Israel. No, Israel is distinguished from the children of Israel, because the children of Israel, when you do the research, were made in Patagonia in South America. That's the Albion Europeans. They are the children of Israel who were grafted, okay, and they were made from the 12 scientists, and the Yakub experiment. Um, but when you look at the Israelites, or Hebrew or Ibri people, they're our brothers as well. And that's why when you do the research, you'll find that um, there's really no difference between us. We all have the same bloodlines, just they're promoting the actual tribes, which actually goes to the 12 zodiac in astrology. Um, when you look at Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, uh, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, all of those was 12 constellations, and it had 12 tribes who were the rulers of those constellations. And you get to see how astrology influences civilization and man and everything living and the dead on planet Earth and other planets as well. So it's more than one perspective and way to look at it. But and a lot of people, they don't even like to use their ancient science astrology. Um, you know, it's very deep. Astrology, when you look at it, is many different fields: medical astrology, legal astrology, um, plant astrology, all across the board, natal chart astrology, everything. Um, so it's really deep. And then when you associate each astrology symbol or sign with your body parts, you get to see how you can actually heal yourself if you knew the different parts, um, how they correlated. So, for example, Aries is the head. Okay, Aries is ram, and Aries is the head. Taurus is the neck. Gemini is the lungs. Cancer is the breast. Leo is the heart. Um, Virgo is the intestines. Um, Libra is the kidneys. Um, Scorpio is the sex organs. Sagittarius is the hips. Capricorn is the knees. Aquarius is the ankles. Pisces is the feet. So if you are having a headache, right, that's Aries, you would look at the 180-degree opposite of Aries, which is Libra. This is fire. Your kidneys is Libra. That's air. You would look at the root of the problem, not the symptom, why you're having headaches. So you need to flush your kidneys, get more water, could help it to do its task to help remove toxins. This is how we actually healed ourselves. It's funny how people don't want to use astrology, but they'll use astrology for gardening, the moon influence on plants and things like that. But astrology is very deep, and that's how we actually ran the world. And I have documents on that as well from the Library of Congress. Um, and when our mothers, the women, used to teach the children in the womb, that is actually called Head Start. Okay, but since they refuse to teach the women, our children in the womb now, they took the Head Start principle out of the womb and they made an institution called Head Start. Okay, since you don't want to raise them in the womb, we'll take it from you and then we'll do it ourselves. Okay, and Aries is the head, and Aries is in spring, so it starts everything off. It's the head start. So everything comes back to the science of things, um, and how it works. And astrology really, really is a great tool to use. Um, the women, they would actually have kindergarten in the womb, right? And that's where they get it from. Kindred, right? Kind, kindergarten, and garden. It's wordplay, but basically, um, they would prep the children and plot the course based off astrology before they even got here on what to bring in this world to actually get assignments done. Okay. Um, Anybody have any questions so far? I know that was a lot of different things I just said, but let's see.
Right, thank you. Islam Moore. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Um,
B Miles. Anything you have to say?
Me at this proper time, not at all. I'm just sitting back learning. I'm
right.
just on here enjoying learning.
Okay. So
So I rather let the brother keep speaking.
okay.
Can I interject on something real fast?
Oh, go ahead.
We
Sure,
told
go ahead.
everybody we was gonna start having guests on your platform. We told them, and now they getting it. And then you had Brother Isaiah bringing the heat. You had enough. What was it last night that was bringing the heat? You have everybody bringing the heat. So now they know that this is not a joke, it's not a game. So now it's time for everybody to realize what time it is and they're just due. So that's why I want to get on here, let everybody know that we've been saying this and y'all been wanting to know what's been going on. Now you have it. You know what I'm saying? You want to know about who we are, where we come from. Then you have people, brothers and sisters on here saying the Hebrew Israelites. Now you got the breakdown of what a Hebrew is and the 12 tribes really are. And if you really want to be technical, it's 13. But we'll
Right.
go into that probably whenever Isaiah want to go into that 13th tribe, which is another zodiac sign.
Right. And
But
that's the 13th sign.
that's something that we really want to let y'all know. But Isaiah, B Miles, I'm gonna let Isaiah take the floor again because now they about to see and hear what else need to be said by the brother, so they can go ahead and you know ask questions.
Okay. I'm about to show you another little thing here. Okay. Can you see this? It says America and Africa. right? Okay. I'm going to show you how they got these two names. Okay. Okay, so, well, I probably gotta erase so you can see. Okay, so they tell you that America was founded by Amerigo Vespucci, right? Well, let me write this down. This is the actual name of America. So they get this is America. Let me see here. Amexum. This is the actual name. Let me see here. Because I can't, on my screen it shows up different. So I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to do this. Okay, here we go. So you see here, you get Amexum. That's the true name of the continent of America. And then you have America and Africa, right? This is how they actually got their term. They took these two words, they took AME and combined it, okay, from RICA. This is how they got America and Africa. But this is how it actually is Amexum, okay? That's what the true name of this continent is called, okay? And it's called Mex for short, okay? And that's where Mexico comes from. So if you are an American national, which means you are a Moor or a Moorish American or a uh, Moroccan, because this is actually Morocco. Um, and a lot of people might say, well, how is this Morocco when they have a Morocco over in the uh, North Africa, right? Uh, in the East. How is this Morocco if there's already a Morocco? Well, the Morocco that everyone travels to today to go have tours and visits is actually came to exist in 1956. Okay, so whenever you hear about letters being sent to Morocco, it's actually talking about being sent here. Okay, so when we're talking about nationality, here's some questions that you might want to write down and consider, and you can answer these and expound on these. Ask yourself, what is a nation? Okay, um, a nation is a family of people who are all descendants of one common mother. Okay, they have a common land, common language, a common law called a constitution, common flag, and a common national seal. So ask yourself if you have been calling yourself Negro, Black, Colored, um, Hispanic, or any of these other brands. Ask yourself, do these brands and what you call yourself have a common land, okay, common language, common law, constitution and treaty, a common flag, and a common national seal? Now, what is a national seal? A national seal is something that is raised on a legal document. Ask yourself, do your nation have that? Okay, what are people of a nation called? People of a nation are called nationals. So, for example, if I'm if I'm born in America and I'm from America, I'll be an American. Now, if Europeans are born in America, that does not make them Americans. That make them Europeans born in America, right? Because you always honor your bloodline, and they would be from Europe, right? Um, and then they would be a naturalized alien or citizen. So just because you're born somewhere doesn't mean that you're from there. Let's make that clear. So a lot of these Albions and Europeans claiming that they are Americans, um, they're actually not. Okay, not even close. And when they call themselves Americans, okay, and you need to correct them and tell them they're not. And if you guys have Google, and you can punch up real quick Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary. If you can type up Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary, the online dictionary. Okay, do this with me so you can see for yourself. You say Isaiah's not making, he's making this stuff up. Okay, this is a unabridged dictionary written by Noah Webster. Okay, type in Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary. Okay, it should be Webster Dictionary 1828.com. And then what I want you to do in the dictionary search is type in American. Okay, type in American and let's read what pops up. Okay, American is an adjective pertaining to America. The definition reads pertaining to America. Okay, so as an adjective, it means pertaining to America. Now let's look up American as a noun. So American, now a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Right there, they just told you that your birthright was stolen. Okay, it's a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals. You're Aboriginal to the land. Or copper color. A lot of people keep saying, I'm black and I'm proud. You're not the color of the shirt. A lot of our people look like a penny. You know, if you put a penny up to their skin, that's how they look, um, like refined copper. So then it says found here by the Europeans. Okay, so that means we were already here before they got here because they found us here, right? But now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. So that shows you right there. If they're Europeans and they say, but now an American is the Europeans and their descendants born here, that just showed you they stole your birthright and they're claiming to be Americans. So every time we say America is this or America is that, we're actually speaking out of turn because they stole our birthright. And you have to claim your birthright back, okay? And you do that through your proclamation, legal lawful proclamation and declaration, okay? And you would send these out to the governor, to Trump, to the secretaries of state, to the sheriff, to the uh, attorney generals, the clerks of the court. You will put everybody on notice, okay? Because you must proclaim your nationality and let it be known. Um, Now, the other two brothers dropped off. I'm going to try to look and see if there's any questions. Okay, you said explain Atlantis, please. Gina Snaps, explain Atlantis, please. So Atlantis. Okay, so if you ever been to Jamaica or Haiti or Trinidad, or you ever been to the islands are actually Atlantis Islands. Um, and when you look at the map of the ancient maps of Atlantis, Mu, and Lemuria, um, Atlantis has dual meaning. Number one, meaning Atlantis had sunk. Um, and when they say it sunk, they mean two things: the physical parts of the physical landmass, but the people. Okay, the people have sunk, and they have fallen to maritime and admiralty law, and that means the laws of the seas. So when they say Atlantis had um, sunk underwater, this is how they actually stole your birthright, because they're saying that our people, their consciousness, have sunken underwater and they're dead at sea. They don't have a land, right? Um, so, but Noble Drew Ali, he said that Atlantis will rise again. So not only will the land resurface, but the people, their consciousness will rise again. Um, and a lot of the Atlantis islands, which is Jamaica, Hawaii, all of those islands, um, parts of the different land here, like North Carolina, they have that on the records. And the Smithsonian took down a documentary pointing out how the North Carolina had a comet hit, okay, and it actually destroyed parts of North Carolina. And they, if you read their records, they actually called North Carolina Atlantis, parts of Atlantis, and a lot of the different territories, parts of Atlantis. And then the further east you go, this is where you get to Mu and Lemuria, like Asia, India. That's parts of Lemuria. Okay. And when I went to India, a lot of them already knew this as facts. Let me see. Um, yes, Brother Jolly Bay. Abraham Lincoln was a Moor, and he actually defended a Moor. The William Dungy case. Um, what else? Okay. Anybody have any other questions? I'm trying to. Okay. No questions at this time. Okay.
I have a question.
Mhm.
All right, can you explain to everybody about the bloodline that we have and how it's connected to beings that's not from here? If you can elaborate on that, because they need to know. I want them to understand why it's important to get their nationality and how it's connected to these specific beings that's not from here.
Oh yeah. So
If you don't mind.
that's a great question. So I have in my presence one of the uh, ancient books that was saved from the Great Book burning when they stole. And really, they didn't really steal everything, but they transferred a lot of the books from the libraries at Luxor in Egypt, and they transferred them to the Vatican. Okay, um, and they burned books that wasn't really as potent as the books that they transferred to the Vatican. Um, I have in my presence some of those books from that great book burning and transfer. How did I get that? We'll talk about that another time. But I have the physical copies, and if you look these books up online, you will not. They'll pop up, but you will not be able to purchase them, and you will not be able to find them anywhere else. In these books, they talk about the different bloodlines and how we came here on different ships. Okay, and when I say ships, I'm talking about what they call um, UFOs and different wheels and different things like that, aircrafts. How we came here from different planets. Okay, and what we did when we first came here. And actually how we tested the soil and how we actually went underground um, and built different cities and civilizations underground, even still to this day, that they're about to release, like they did in Missouri, um, Kansas, Missouri. Um, so it's very important um, because when it talks about these different beings and our ancestors who came to this planet and went to different um, nodal points on the earth and they set up civilizations and different tribes. They knew who they were as a national from other uh, planets. Okay, and you couldn't inherit, you couldn't have access to your estate and your birthright if you dishonored uh, your ancestry. So, one of the huge parts why our people have been kept back from intergalactic space travel and different things like that is because they're in dishonor. If you look at what Trump just did a few days ago, well, really, he did this a couple of months ago where he reinstated um, this act that they were trying to pull off, where he uh, added a sixth branch to the U.S. corporate company military, and it's called the Space Branch. And a few days ago, he just released the Space Branch's flag. Okay, um, and they're trying to do this to control space traffic, and they have wars out in space for the territory in space. And the reason why they're able to do that and go out there and set up shop is because the heirs are asleep on the planet. Okay, and if we knew our nationality, we would be a part of those old ancient treaties that our ancestors made with different beings to be able to knock their satellites out and be able to put up ours and go back to space. Um, now, notice when they supposed to have went to the moon, they said this is a small step for man, but a giant step, a giant leap for mankind. Okay, because we already been to the moon and different planets and been going for centuries. That was their first time making that trip, allegedly. Um, but this is why this is another reason why it's very important for us to know the bloodline because we're not all of us are from different beings um, and different soul groups, different galactic federations, and some of the beings that are here. There's over 250,000 different beings that's here, and they want to make themselves public. And that actually goes to the Nasara Act, or parts of it. And they want to reconnect, but a lot of times they have been behind closed doors. And you can look all this stuff up, the space treaties that have been signed. Um, so yeah, that's very this thing is bigger than what we think it is. Um, okay. Okay, know thyself worth said, could it be that Atlantis is a concept of our soul journeying to become human? Yes, Atlanteans were water beings. As we know via astrology, water is wrapped around intuition, clairvoyance, aka going within. Exactly, exactly. Okay. Oh, okay. Was there a slave trade? Yes, there was a slave trade, but it's not the slave trade that you're thinking about. Okay, slave is actually a nationality. It means the Slavic people of in Europe. So when they say the slaves, they're actually calling you someone else's nationality, and they actually was fighting against them for doing that. We were never slaves. We could never be because that's a nationality for someone else. We were oppressed. But more interesting, you should look into the uh, get the book White Cargo. Read that book and also get the book They Were White, They Were Slaves. And you're gonna find out that, and these are just two books. There's hundreds of books that talk about what I'm about to say. There are a lot of the killings that you see now of our people, the jails, the food poisoning, a lot of that stuff is because we did this to them first. Okay, and that part of the history is not talked about. We did that to them on this land. They did not bring us here. 750,000 lost in the Middle Passage, all these lies that they say. They did not bring us here. Um, we were already here traveling back and forth. Um, we actually oppressed them first here on this land. And every time we would pass them, we would tell them to pay us tribute, and we would run their pockets. Okay, if they didn't have gold and silver sacks to give us, we would cut their hands off, cut their heads off. We would take their women, the European Albion women, put them in our harems, sell them into um, human trafficking them. We were doing a lot of things, and that's the part that's not talked about. In fact, that's part of the reason why they wanted to form a treaty of peace and friendship with the Sultan of Morocco, so that he can tell us to stop doing this to them. Um, and if you don't have a copy of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, get one because it's gonna give you huge references to what really went down. Um, and it's impossible for them to have put us in slavery for 400 years when we know for a fact that when the Treaty of Peace and Friendship was signed, they added 580 years to the calendar. Okay, so really, this is not 2020. This is actually 1440. Okay, Islamic calendar. Um, they added 580 years to the calendar in order so that they can rewrite themselves back into history. Because they wasn't there. They didn't exist. They didn't conquer all those things that they said. Um, and this is another reason why it's important to do the real research, because during that time that they said they had us in slavery for 400 plus years, we were actually ruling the seven seas. That's why I call it Marines or Marines, because we were the navigators. The Navy SEALs were us. We were the seafaring people. Um, so when you do the real research, you'll find that they have really deceived our people to such extent. They in the John D. Rockefeller school systems, they have told our people they brought us here, and they always start us off with quote unquote slavery. Um, and we know for a fact that we were and cannot be slaves. We were oppressed, yes. Some of us were put in chains, yes. Some of us was kidnapped from, um, say for example, North Carolina, and then taken to Atlanta and then branded as runaways. Yes, that a lot of that took place, but we were already here. Um, and actually, when they came here, um, and they came through the ports of New York, okay, and they actually migrated from there, but they actually came here through New York, and we actually had a lot of them as our servants, okay, and a lot of the stuff is karma. A lot of the karma we're reaping or have reaped and continue to reap is from all of the stuff we did to them, politically, in every way, shape, and form. Now that karma has been uh, uplifted from a karmatic debt principle, and now we're getting the brunt end of that phase dying out. So we have to move into a transition that we elevate our consciousness and elevate our mindsets as a people to get back to where we ruled. we had an entire empire here. They call this the Empire of Morocco. And then the Kingdom of Morocco is over in the east. But the empire, the emperor of Morocco, sat at New York. Okay, that's why they call it the Empire State. And this is why um, when we ruled, we actually um, had different bays. The bays are the enforcers of the law. We had different bays set up in different territories, and you can read the treaties, and you'll see the bays of Tripoli, the bays of, or the days of Algiers, Tunis, and this is why Obama actually, when he was placed in office, he was selected. He tried to give our people the clues and the signal. Um, he actually went to Egypt. Well, he cooked it to give the speech of when the Moors founded civilization and what we brought to the world from horticulture, agriculture, science, mathematics, astrology, astronomy, um, you name it. Um, and then he had Michelle wear the red dress, right, symbolic of your red cherry tree, your red nation's flag. She put that red dress on and she made a triangle. She went out to give a speech as well. So they try to give clues as best they can, but a lot of our people are still asleep. So we'll go back to the question. Um, Ezrael says, okay, so I don't understand. What are we to them? Are we supposed to be peaceful with them, or are we not supposed to have any contact with them, or what? What are they to us? The um, Europeans, okay, the Albions are actually our children that we created. Um, we created them in South America at the Temple of the Moon and Sun, or Techilin, or Tectonesian. That's the name of the temple. And you can actually go there, and these were where the science labs took place, where we made them, okay, hybrid, um, Yoveda, the uh, Negro Yoveda, the hybrid monkey. We made them. This is where they try to say that we come from apes and monkeys and stuff like that. But they traded places with us. If you've seen the movie with Eddie Murphy, Trading Places, that's what took place. They traded places. It said we came from monkeys, but it's really them. And a lot of times they're still born with the tails, and they have to get them cut off, and they shut down the hospitals to remove them. But we made them because of the calendar, what they call the Mayan calendar, which isn't really Mayan. We didn't call ourselves Mayan, but um, because of this calendar, we knew that we were going to fall, and a big cataclysmic event was going to take place. So we was creating an experiment to create a different being so that our um, bloodline can last. Okay, we thought the environment was going to get so cold, okay, that we wasn't going to be able to survive. So we actually created them, and a lot of them when they came out, they were very brutal. They was eating each other, killing each other, raping each other. And some of them were civil. So the ones who were civil, we actually taught them the law. The ones who were not, we took them to, or some of the ones who were not, we had to kill them. But the ones who were civil, we actually took them to the land of Angles, which is where we get Albion from, England from. We took them there to preserve them because the sun was killing them. And when we took them to uh, England, we met up with Queen Europa. Queen Europa was a Moor. She was a Moabitess. And that's where they get the name Europe from. She actually, Moors were the first Europeans. That's why they call themselves in textbooks today, the Europeans, modern day Europeans, because they're not the ancient ones. And we were the original. original Dukes, uh, Celtics, um, you name it. We were the ancient ones. Okay, and so when we took them there, that's when we were able to help them to um, learn the law, jurisprudence, history, and religion, and make them civilized. So we civilized them and actually taught them law. That's what Planet of the Apes is about. When they're teaching the apes how to act as man and be a man, and then they actually took over the world. So they're telling you the true history right in the movies. Um, and now that it's our time to rule again, that's why we all are coming back to the source, nationality. And because we're coming back to the source of nationality, this is where the rest of the nations already know who we are because they have our blood running in them. It's just that we forgot. So what we must do is nationalize. And how do you nationalize? You have to nationalize in your mind first, right? It's a mindset. Um, a lot of people give me the paperwork so I can fill out. And, yeah, that's fine, but what's going to happen when you can't defend it and stand on it because you don't know who you are? And that's the first thing you have to declare. And declare means to be clear. Be clear of who you are and your bloodline. Um, and so when we made these hybrids, anything that you make that's hybrid, the earth seeks to destroy it. Okay, if it's not natural, the earth seeks to destroy it. So if they're not natural, the sun seeks to destroy them. That's why they're trying to destroy the sun, and they're trying to put up different rays and emit things from their machinery to block the sun and to kill and destroy the sun. And that's why they actually part of the reason why they named it COVID or coronavirus. The corona in Latin means crown, and crown means sun, the sun virus, because they're trying to kill the children of the sun. Okay, so that's why when we're looking at nationality, it's very important that you uh, proclaim your nationality, okay, and be clear. And when you then make a public record of that, then you start to come under the nation or national principles and standards, and you start to organize and enforce the treaty and constitution, and you start to heal your land, as the scriptures say. Okay, will they um, fight us? Okay, he said, will they fight us for? I'm sorry, I just went blank. Will they fight us for converting back? Um, they're going to fight you regardless because you got to think about it. In Freemasonry, you are the secret. So if we have a whole global organization, and the biggest secret in Masonry is that you're the heir to the world's largest estate, and you keep calling yourself something that you're not. And now that all of these heirs are waking up and finding out, and we can't talk, we can't say anything about it, because if we do, then they're going to know that this was a fraud and there's going to be a big war. They already been killing our people. They've already been um, brutalizing our people and doing a lot of stuff to us. It's not going to make them do it even more. They've already been doing that. What they're trying to do is wipe out the ones who, well, they're trying to wipe out us too, but they're trying to wipe out the ones who are going to be in the way. Okay. So they won't have a claim to their estate. Good news is your brothers from Manchuria, from the east, are going to come to your aid. Okay. And they have been coming to your aid. If you look up notable resignations in Google, type in Google notable resignations, you'll see how these politicians and public officials and public servants have been getting out of office. Um, they've been murdered or killed, resigning, put in jail, or fired. And a lot of that is because of your Manchurian brothers are doing that, putting in the work for you, because we don't have an army. We're supposed to have the National Guard protect us, right? But a lot of us are not nationals. They come under the status of black, so they won't have protection. Um, so this is why a lot of the different nations of the earth have come together to fight back against Rome. Okay. Right. Rh positive is the hybrid. Okay. Did anybody have any questions so far? Okay. All right. So I'm trying to wait for the brothers to come back. But I'm gonna go into read you something. Um, I'm gonna read you something here.
You was asking about me, brother Isaiah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you missed. Well, we covered a lot, but it's 11:11, and that's a moment of synchronicity right now. So, did you have anything, brother? Did you want me to?
Um, I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say for the most part, they love the information, man. They are really loving information, man. Wow, this is wow. It's so many new faces in here I have not seen. Wow, it's a lot of new faces in the chat, man. I'm gonna say like, pretty much, man. You covering a lot of things right now. You
I
covering a
know.
lot of things, and I got to say like, you pretty much doing well to me, man.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going. You just let me know when to stop. Um,
All right.
you said, do we sit back
For
and
real.
wait? What do we do? What do you suggest we be doing? No, I'm not for sitting back and waiting. No. We should be building our nation and restoring our nation. We already took up the mantle, and we already have been organizing our government, our matriarchy. And yes, I said matriarchy for some of you men and your ego. Do the real research, do the research, and go back. I know a lot of you read the scriptures and are religious, and God is a man and all this type of stuff. That's not what we see in everyday life. Okay, let's be real. Women create children every day. Okay, you look at men. A lot of times, when you look at the women. First of all, I'll start there. You look at the women; they are the. This not an ego tip for women, but it's just the truth. Um, you look at what a man does, and a man gives women things. Women come back and multiply. And so, for example, when you give a man, I'm sorry, when you give a woman, uh, uh, let's say on a small level, you give her food, she in turn gives you a meal, right? She's an incubator. You give her a house, she gives you a home, all right? You give her sperm or seed, she gives you children. So she, whatever you give her, she takes it and multiplies it. So we also look at how um, women, um, they are the creators. Okay, in the scripture they tell you, women came from man's rib. I don't see that every day happening, and I know you don't either. And you let them tell you this stuff because it's supposed to be spiritual. That's not what we see in everyday life. Um, we came from the womb of woman, and all of us have belly buttons as the birthmark, as evidence. Um, Everything is in honor of the mother principle and the masculine, but the masculine comes from that duality intertwined. And when women realize this is how to be able to clean it up and help our nation because a lot of our women give the children over to these institutions that do them no good. You give them to the school system, okay, and they miseducate their mind and their life. You give them to the church, and they fill their mind up with dogma. You give them over to all these institutions that do us harm. So when you really get this information, you can correct this problem. Um, and when you look at how, if you really want to claim your land, you have to respect mother, because that's why it's called inheritance. Her is the root word. Inheritance. Okay, that's how you actually honor your mother and your father, that your days may be long upon the earth land. Okay, you inherit through the honor of the matriarchy. What we're doing is restoring the matriarchy. How? We are screening people, trying to get people in key positions in our government. We're going to need a cabinet for our Secretary of State. We're going to need a cabinet for our Treasury. We're going to need a cabinet for our governor. We're going to need a cabinet for our chief of police. We're going to need all of these different things to set up key positions so that we can interface with other international communities. This is called diversity of citizenship. If you look at Article, I got the Constitution. Let's look at the Constitution, because our people say that's
Hold
the
on,
white man's law. Uh huh.
hold on one second. All right, just let me speak to the chat real quick. I'm gonna cut you off, my brother.
Go ahead.
All
No, go
right,
ahead.
for those of y'all who have questions, right? I'm gonna need y'all to like only ask one question at a time, okay? Because I seen a lot of people in the chat. Like I said, I mean, I understand you want to get your questions answered, but just make sure give the brother some time and go through the information, and just make sure that you save your questions for later, so he can get through the information at a really good time, and then we can start answering questions one at a time. Because too many people in the chat, they understand you'll have a lot of questions, but just give the brother some time, and also one question at a time, okay? Or you had a full back, brother.
Oh yeah, thanks, brother. No problem. Okay, Article 3. This is the Constitution. A lot of people say that's the white man's law. It is, but he ain't the white man. The European ain't the white man in law. You are. Okay, your ancestors in jurisprudence, they wrote what the legal status white mean and what the legal status black mean. Your ancestors did that. And they did that on purpose because this is a trust document for you to enforce. The Constitution of America, ratified 1791. Okay, with the 10 Bill of Rights, not the 27 or however many they got now. Those are unconstitutional, and we didn't have a constitutional convention to add them. They overthrew our government in 1861. So, Article 3, Section 3. Treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. So they're giving you the qualifications of what is treason against the United States. No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of two witnesses to the same overt act or on confession in open court. Now, if you look up what court means in a law dictionary, whether it's a Henry Campbell Black's Law or a Bouvier Law Dictionary, you will find that court means any space uncovered on earth. So right now we're holding court. It say on the testimony of two witnesses, okay, of the same overt act or open confession. Now, that will consist of treason. The Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of the person attainted. What does that mean? That means that if there's bills of attainder, okay, bills of attainder are a speeding ticket, a fine, driving tickets, suits, okay, um, BG&E bills, um, mortgage bills, water bill, gas and electric bill, um, student loan, car loan, you name it. All of these are what they call in law bills of attainders. They corrupt your bloodline. Why? Because they don't identify what nation you are. They put you as black or white or any other color system that they have, and that's called color of law, meaning it's not real law. So these instruments that they create on you, marriage license, driver's license, uh, 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 divorce certificates, all of these different things are called bills of attainder. And they just told you that unless no person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of two witnesses to the same overt act. How many in the chat, how many of y'all ever had a so-called speeding ticket? Okay. So you have had one of these bills of attainder, and it's corrupting your bloodline because you are not Negro, black, or color. You come from the nation that created this. So they're corrupting your bloodline. So what does that mean in law? That means that they're committing treason. Okay, or forfeiture except during the life of the person attainted, right? So if you stay black your whole life, all of your estate is forfeited. And all of the bills of attainder that they place on your estate will stand because you never came into the age of majority and you never were competent. So all of the different bills of attainder that they have um, through these different dead pledges and law actually have corrupted your bloodline. Okay, when they stop you, how do they identify you? White male, black male. That's color of law. There's no such people that exist, right? You come from a nation, right? And you can use that. They are committing treason, right? They are violating the Bill of Rights. They're violating the Constitution that secures your birthrights, right? The Constitution does not protect your birthrights; it only secures it, right? You just because you're born, you have birthrights. Now, people have not been made aware of what birthrights mean. You have a right to travel. If you were to take it, if you were to have a child and your child would run around, right? They have a right to run around. You don't make certain um, statutes and codes to try to tell them don't run over here on a Tuesday night after 5 p.m. or you'll get a ticket. You don't do stuff like that, but that's how they treat us as people. And they know how people can't read uh, linguistics and in law to even be able to combat a lot of this bleeding that's taking place. So um, the Constitution, we definitely need to learn it and enforce it, and it's very easy. Um, let me see. So to answer, I'm going back to the question. So we are building the matriarchy, and the matriarch is built off of these principles, honoring the mother. And it's not to honor the mother who is in ego, it's to honor the mother who is willing to take up the mantle and to retrain and reteach the children, because mothers are the first teachers, and the mothers are actually the ones who will help restore, will play a large role in the restoration of our state and our nationality. Um, right now, a lot of our women are not aware of their true nationality, and when they are, do you know how fast that the claims to the estate will stop from the Europeans? Um, right now, they have claimed all um, everything that you own. They have claimed it because they say you're a ward of the state. Okay, so you have to rebut them in law. You have to put a stop to that and answer up to. They said that you're Negro, black, and color. Okay, you have to, as a woman, if you want to save your children and your nation, this is your duty to do that. And we're putting things in place. So if you're interested, again, brother B Miles, B Forte, you give them your email, your number, and we're going to continue that process. Go to the chat. Oh, here's a good question. You said, where does I'm scrolling. Be patient. I'm scrolling through the questions. Trying to get the question. Noble, I have a question. Can we believe anything in the Bible? Yes, you can. I'm gonna tell you that. Although I won't advise you to believe anything, because when you look at the word belief, break it down. The root word is a lie. Lie. Okay. So you don't want to be believe. You only believe when you don't know stuff. Belief is for those who don't know. You need to learn how to know, and if you don't know, learn how to know. And we teach you how to know. Um, I'm gonna give you an example. Some people say you can't believe the Bible because the Europeans and tampered with it so much. That's true to an extent, but if you can read between the lines, there's still a lot of stuff there. Okay, I'm gonna turn to, and I'm not trying to be funny when I read this, but I'm gonna turn to the book of Isaiah, chapter 65. Okay. Now, this is Allah in the scriptures speaking to uh, the situation and condition of his people. And why do I say Allah? I'll get into that, but you'll see, because God is not um, the proper term, and we'll break that down. But Isaiah chapter 65, verse 1, if you have your Bibles, don't throw your Bibles away, because you can use these in law. You can use your Bible, to condemn the de facto government. Isaiah chapter 65, verse 1. I was sought by those who did not ask for me. I was found by those who did not seek me. I said, here I am, to a nation that was not called by my name. I have stretched out my hands all day long to a rebellious people who walk in a way that is not good, according to their own thoughts, a people who provoke me to anger continually to my face, who sacrifice in gardens and burn incense on altars of brick, who sit among the graves and spend the night in the tombs, who eat swine's flesh and the broth of abominable things in their vessels, who say, keep to yourself, do not come near me, for I am holier than thou. These are smoke in my nostrils, a fire that burns all the day. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silence, but will repay, even repay into their bosom your iniquities and the iniquities of your fathers together, says the Lord, who have burned incense on the mountains and blasphemed me on the hills. Therefore, I will measure their former work into their bosom. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you can read the whole thing on your own. This whole chapter is talking about how our people, and this is timeless, even to this day, right now, still to this day, there's another nation claiming our principles, our status, our science, everything. And we are so hard headed and rebellious, we will not come back to the science that we once taught the world, the knowledge, the information that we once shared with the world. Um, and again, he said a nation. He's dealing with nationalities, right? Um, this is actually pointing to how things are playing out now. So you don't throw away everything. This can be used in along with all of the scriptures. All of the scriptures are one. Um, the Bible, the Torah, the Tanakh, the Pentateuch, the Vedas, the Quran. All of them go hand in hand. They're not separate, and that's what they have made us think. Um,
Brother Isaiah, I have a question.
uh-huh.
Um, Islam to everybody. Everything you said has been a nutshell, and I hope everybody really take heed. But it means is the question is actually something I wanted to say real quick. I hope everybody listen to what he was saying and get the true understanding on what he's saying about everything verbatim. You're not going to get this information anywhere else unless you research it yourself. Um, and then I also wanted to say that is I appreciate everything you're saying to everybody because we've been telling them about going back to the matriarch for the longest time. You're confirming everything. Um, and another thing I want to just let everybody know that you come from a powerful source and a powerful people. You the sleeping giants that everybody
Mm-hmm.
been talking about. You can't run from your destiny. You've been destined to do this. And one of the things
He coming back on, y'all. Just 1 second.
Okay.
We just coming back.
Second.
yeah, I knew I was gonna do that. I mean, it cut me off real quick, but I'm gonna just say like one of the things they want to let that we gotta let you know is that this is our time to shine, and we don't have too much time because October's around the corner. Brother Isaiah, B Miles, we all been talking about October being a serious month. Um, but at the same time, we asking everybody that's we're going to get to you as fast as we can. Just know that these times are critical, and the brothers can agree with me on that. Like it's real critical. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like we at phase one still of the Nezra and Gezerah. Phase one. B Miles been talking about this. Isaiah been confirming it. And this is what me and B Miles been trying to say before Isaiah got on here and started breaking everything down. Like if you're serious, then let's get it done. But you're going to get screened because there's people out there that think this is a game and it's not. You're dealing with people, lives, souls, and everything. You're dealing with that. This is some real information he's dropping. This is everything he's saying is off the Star Wars, the movie Star Wars. That's all our stuff in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like you really gotta know this is some serious stuff. Everybody think it's crazy, but it's not crazy. They put your stuff in movies. You are the X-Men, you are the Avengers, and the list goes on. Stan Lee said that he made all those characters off our deities and off made them out of us. The X-Men was us. They made that the civil rights movement the whole time. They letting you know who the hell you are, and it's time to wake up. He
Yep.
already broke down the whole Israelite thing, letting you know that stuff was pretty much man-made to a standpoint and confused our people. Okay? So now this is the time to do what we have to do. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's not going to make it. We got to be real with that. B. Miles been saying it for a minute. He said 2/3 are not going to make it. And some of y'all might be the 2/3 on here saying, I'm down and I ain't going to make it. I'm just saying some. I didn't say all. Let's just be realistic.
We just kicking facts.
You know, we letting you know ahead of time because we don't want that karma on us. So we letting y'all know already. Like, look, you can't say you didn't know anything.
Right.
That been talking about this for a while. Isaiah coming dropping information. Been learning from the great Taj Tariq Bey. He been going in letting everybody know what time it is. He been letting you know how everything is built around law. Am I lying about that, Brother Miles L?
Not at all.
And this is what B Miles been saying all these years. And now y'all saying that he's not making it up. Isaiah's confirming everything, and the three of us, along with many others, they know what time it is. They trying to tell you like y'all need to wake up.
Yep.
Because next thing you know, Uncle Alfred plan is going to hit you real hard, knocking at your goddamn door, saying it's time to get in these camps.
Yep.
You know, and Uncle Rex 84 gonna be like, hey, what's going on? Like, how you doing? FEMA gonna be like, hey, how you doing? My name is FEMA. You also know me as Walmart and some other places. Let's go. Let's go. We want to shop your ass around now. I mean, this is some real stuff that's being said here. And I don't think I'm being ignorant. I'm just being straightforward. That's my Aries kicking in. So I'm just letting y'all know, like, this is it. You know, like, this is it. This is why I've been saying, go back to your sciences, your ancient sciences, and Isaiah been telling you about this. Wake up call. This is the wake up call. You know how the Nation of Islam had the final call? This is the wake up call. So it's like, it's all, the ball is in your court now. Like, don't say y'all didn't know shit. Excuse my language. When the time comes, your ass go back to the ancestral realm. Don't say I didn't know nothing. They're gonna say, oh yes you did. We brought some messages to your ass and you didn't listen. Guess what? You're coming back down here as a baby again. I can tell you, all three of us, and enough everybody that been on here that know what's going on. We ain't coming back down this motherfucker. We're like, no, we ain't coming back down here. We done.
No,
we did our job.
We ain't gonna come back.
We not being arrogant. We being real. Like, as real as it come. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't really a question. I just had to put that out there because I think everybody need to know this is serious. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, look, y'all, Isaiah was there when Trump said he was a Templar, y'all. He turned around to the Moors that was there with him. He said he's a Templar, and he know our history. So this is some real stuff, man. The ball is in our court, and yes, we gotta put our women first. Our women need to take that throne back. I keep on saying, sisters, take the throne back from Becky, because she just making fun of your ass. She getting the big lips, the big hips, the big thighs, the big butts, and everything. Years ago, they was making fun of that. They're taking your men and they make that daggone that daggone feminist movement.
Yep.
And then Isaiah broke down how the way they were actually a cavemen and cave women, and many of our people out there mating with them.
Yep.
And don't even know that their bloodline is messed up. Your bloodline is more pure. It's directly back to the ancient ones. You are the ancient ones incarnated or reincarnated. What's so wrong? We got to understand this stuff is really serious. But you know, they put everything in sci-fi. Wake up, science. Never, everything in science is not fiction. Science was never fiction from the start at all. So, Isaiah, my dear brother, I'm happy that you've been dropping that information. And B-Miles, salute to you on putting brother Isaiah on there and letting them know what time it is. You've been telling them for years. And you showing them that, hey, I brought the information to you. Now, what the hell you going to do about it? Don't say I ain't do shit. I mean, I'm sorry to be saying it like that, but sometimes you got to talk to our people like that. Not to be ignorant, but we got to let them know, like, look, y'all worrying about some daggone stimulus checks. I'm getting a $2,000 stimulus check. I'm about to get $6,000. You know, eyes bucking up and everything, like, yeah. We gonna make it. Little did you October come. Guess what? How you doing, FEMA? New IDs and everything. The Pope is the devil walking. That's the devil walking. That is Shaitan walking. That's documented fact. They don't want you to wake up. You know what I'm saying? They have all these different orders. The Knights of Columbus, the Ku Klux Klan, who we actually enslaved and taught them shit too. And they backfired. They try to backfire that stuff on us, but guess what? It's coming back on them because guess what they call themselves? They call themselves white. Think about it.
And they not
think about that. Let that marinate a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We want them to let that marinate. They call themselves white. Don't that mean that y'all gonna get put in the camps too? Hell yeah. And another thing, the Klan are Masons. They are Masons. Did y'all know that? The Klan were Masons as well. So all them brothers and sisters Masons, they your brothers and sisters right there. Them daggone Ku Klux Klan members. Just throwing it out there. This war been going on for a long time with us and them.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things they did, they used the law on us and made their own laws that they don't even go by.
Mm-hmm.
That's why everybody want to talk about the purge. There's a purge on your tail because you're not proclaiming your nationality and who you are. That's
Right.
what B Miles been trying to tell y'all for years. The 2/3. Isaiah come on here breaking it down. Nuff came on here and broke it down. You have people in the chat, RC Pants and Q Mac and a few others that know what the heck is going on. They telling like, yo, this is fire. This is real stuff. We did the research ourselves. You saw Nuff say that him and his empress did the research and they say it's real. They're getting confirmations.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Isaiah, all I gotta say, brother, I'm happy that you breaking it all down, the stuff that Brother Miles been saying for years. Yours truly, and I'm glad we all come together and doing what we got to do to wake everybody up. So,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I love everybody. Love everybody. Just want everybody to know what's going on so they can wake up.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? It's
and they are
time.
not. They, I mean, even down, they are not white. Like he said, they're in trouble too, and they are actually is six nations. When you look at that Star Spangled Banner, it's not a flag; it's a banner. The Star Spangled Banner, it has those six white stripes and the stars. Well, I'm gonna tell you, and you can write this down for yourself and do research. I'm gonna tell you what those six white stripes, what nations they represent. Okay, those six white stripes. Number one, England, Ireland, Scotland, France, Germany, and Holland. Right, and these were all part of the Dutch masters, and now people smoke Dutches. All right, and don't know that this is where the signs come from. How the European Albion, those six nations, were actually um, calling themselves the slave masters. And this goes back to 1492 and up, even in between in 1602 with the witches of Salam. A lot of our mothers and our sisters, aunts, grandmothers, all of them were witches. And witch, when you do the etymology, witch means um, wise woman or wise one, right? Witchcraft means wise with the hands, right? Craft, you're crafting, witchcraft, you're wise with the hand, right? So they try to put these terminologies on to make you afraid and spooked out about them. But in 1602, in that era where they was killing the witches and burning them at the stake, they were killing our mothers and branding them with the flower de luce. Flower de luce is the New Orleans Saints football team symbol. Okay, that's that brand that's on their head, on their helmet, right? So they were doing this to a lot of our women, and they know anytime you want to conquer any nation, you go after the woman. Now you got your Bible, all of y'all, and Hebrew Israelite, no disrespect or nothing. But let's look at when they said, "Who did in the garden? Who did the serpent go to?" Right? He went to the woman first. Now, in the New Testament, they say that women are the weaker vessel, right? But they say Satan attacks the weakest first, right? He don't, I mean, the strongest first. He don't go to the weak, he go to the strongest one first, all right? Well, in Genesis, when the serpent went to the woman first, they're showing you evidence who was the first. That's how they destroy the nation, right? They go to the woman first. If I can get the woman will then teach the nation. She will then spread the discord. She will then spread the chaos. She will then put them further in a bind. If I can get them under my control first. And guess who's running this European system the most efficiently? Our mothers. They're the ones who are at the post office giving us issues. They're the ones who are behind the doors for CNN. They're the ones who are behind closed doors for the um, what's the Cartoon Network with Ted Turner in Atlanta. Can't think of it, but they're the ones who are behind that. They're the ones who are behind Bank of America in the banking system. They're the ones who are behind all these corporations. It's our women that's making them great. And I know you guys seen that the movie with the mothers who helped those put the people into space. Can't think of it right now, but it's always our women behind it because they know that that's the strength, right? um, and we got a lot of things to clean up. So um, that's where we're at right now with nation building. Um, the Star Spangled Banner tells you those six European nations, and then the flag for that is actually the red flag with the 5 pointed green star in the center. That's your Moorish flag. Yes, you can say Moor. Yes, you can say Moorish because Moorish means pertaining to Moors. You can say Moroccan because you are Moroccan. This is Morocco. Um, your nationality uh, is Moorish American. Your bloodline is Moabite. Okay, Canaanite, Hittite. Okay, and I'm going to read you really quickly um, this letter. I'm going to read this letter, and it's short, and it gets right to the point. It gets right to the point. Okay, so bear with me pulling it up. Okay, this letter is from Rahm Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel was a part of the Obama administration. He actually left to become the mayor of Chicago, and he put this proclamation out, 2011, December 22nd, and that's a very, very auspicious date. He says, whereas the Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, Hamites, and Canaanites, who were permitted by the old pharaohs of Kemet to traverse from East Africa and later formed themselves kingdoms extending from the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa, the Atlantic islands, onto the present day continental Americas, and whereas the indigenous Moorish peoples of the Americas are now united in order to again link themselves with the family of nations, and whereas the Moorish Americans, being aboriginal to the territories of North, Central, and South Americas, have formed a sovereign theocratic government guided by the command principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice through virtue of the universal right to self-determination as well as the Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples guaranteed in the Charter. And whereas on January 8th, 1886, Noble Drew Ali was born in the state of North Carolina, destined to become the first patriot of his mentally enslaved Moorish American people. In 1912, he was later anointed as Il Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali by the heads of Egypt and the holy city of Mecca to return to the United States as the last prophet and founding father of the newly risen nation of Moorish Americans. As a result of the 13th Amendment, Moorish people were emancipated from slavery in 1865. Now, therefore, I, Rahm Emanuel, Mayor of the City of Chicago, do hereby proclaim January 8th through 15th, 2012 to be Moorish American Week in Chicago and urge all residents to recognize the events planned for this time, dated this 22nd day of December 2011. If you know anything about holidays, December 22nd, that's the winter solstice. That's your Moorish holiday. So right there, Rahm Emanuel just confirmed, okay, that a man named Noble Drew Ali came. He was destined, right? He was prophesied to come. He's in the book of Revelation, actually. He was destined to come. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read that. I'm going to read Revelation to you. But he was destined to come to free his people in North, Central, and South Americas, the continental Americas, okay, under the nationality of Moorish American, okay? Not no Hebrew Israelite, not any of these other things. There's no disrespect. We're not trying to debate or argue. I'm talking about the facts. This mayor was the first one to issue this. Then several other mayors and governors from across the territories, each territory issued proclamations stating not only that, but other things supporting what he just said. Okay, so he's telling you your true history and your nationality. You are the mothers and fathers of ancient civilization. Now, when you look at Revelation, right? Revelation, the book of Revelation, okay, chapter 5. It says, "And I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll written inside, and on the back sealed with seven seals. Then I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the scroll and to loose its seals? And no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or look at it. So I wept much because no one was found worthy to open and read the scroll or to look at it. But one of the elders said to me, Do not weep. Behold, the lion which is Leo in astrology, the lion of the tribe of Judah, right? We're of the tribe of Judah. The root of David has prevailed to open the scroll and to loose its seven seals. What book were they talking about? What were they talking about? This book with seven seals on it, right? This man coming from the tribe of Judah, the bloodline, right? They were talking about Noble Ali, right? This is the book with the seven seals, the Holy Quran. This goes with the Bible. The Bible is the Halig Biblios Heliotech, meaning the sun book, and the Quran is the sun reader. They go together. This has the missing 18 years of who they call Jesus, Yeshua. It has his lifetime in here from the age of 12 to 18. 18 years, from when he was a child until he going into early manhood. These seven seals, Noble Ali prepared this book, right? And in this book, it has the deed to your vast estate, the title to your land. And with this book, as you can see, he's holding the woman up, right? She's fallen, she's asleep. He's taking her from the waters and placing her on dry land, salvation, right? And humanity is written on her womb, right? Because she holds the nation in her womb. So everyone in law know who you are and they know about these things. In fact, when I won my court cases, I used these two books, right? So this is why it's very important to do the real, true research and to know who you truly are in law and nationalize under one banner so that we can get back our land and get this earth back onto playing field. And anybody ask any questions? You said, will we get our? We will not get our inheritance back by force. We'll get it back by law. Well, yes, yes, uh, enforcing the law. I'll say that. Um, okay, no question. Yes, we are Asiatics. Marie Richardson. Asiatic. At one point in time, this whole Earth was called Asia, and then you had Asia Major, Asia Minor. Hidden Figures. That's the name of it. Yeah, that's right. Is the name? Where can we get those books? I have a lot of the books that I just went over. Um, I can send them to you, and you can get them offline. It's called the Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Okay, you can get this book online if you Look it up. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. And then this is called question, the Quran questions for Moorish Americans. Okay. Um, is the name change significant? Yes, it is, because I will read to you. Oh, I forgot to print it out, but you can look this up. House Resolution 75, and they talk about those 5 noble titles, and they talked about reinstating the title of nobility. Okay, Article 1, Section 10. That was actually Section 9. Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution of the United States of America, 1791. It says, Section 9, and this is the last paragraph of it, no title of nobility shall be granted by the United States. Okay. And no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of the Congress, accept of any present emolument, office, or title of any kind, whatever, from any king, prince, or foreign state. What are a title of nobility? Il, E-L, Bey, B-E-Y, Day, D-E-Y, Al, A-L, Ali, A-L-I. These are your 5 titles of nobility from the 5 quote unquote civilized tribes who were found here by the Europeans, who had confederacies that go back to the Iroquois Confederacy, the Powhatan Confederacy, and the Algonquian tribes. Algonquin tribes. Okay, so the 5 titles all encompass different things. Your ills, E-L, I'm a ill. These are your lawmakers, your legislators, right? Your spiritual ones. Your bays are your law enforcers, right? Your days are your astrologers. I'm also a day. I can show you something real quick. Uh, owls are astronomers, and Ali's encompass them all. And the prophet said, "Don't name your child Ali, because with a great title comes great responsibility and great task." So, if you were to ask yourself right now, would you rather make the law or enforce the law? And once you answer that question, you will be either ill or obey. And that's how you get access to your estate. Okay. You can't do it under Johnson, Smith, and Jones and Murphy. And you say, for example, my name is Patrick Murphy, and I'm going to sue this white man for doing all this stuff to me. Now, first of all, you're wrong and incorrect in your thought process, because they're not white, they're not a crayon, they're not colors. Number 2, you're trying to sue them with their name. You can't do business and transact business in another man's name and then try to sue him. Right? You're committing fraud because you got his name. So, for example, when Dred Scott was arguing beautifully and he went to court and he went and to argue his case, they said he was right, but they end up putting on the end of the case, plaintiff in error. Why are you in error? The plaintiffs are the ones bringing the case and bringing the suit, right? Why are you in error, Dred Scott? Why are you in error, William Johnson? Why are you in error, Michael Jackson? Why are you in error, Patrick Murphy? Because you don't have your national title. You don't have your own national name, your free national name. You don't have your national descent name of who and where you come from. You're not in honor of your mother and father. You are claiming to be Smith, Jones, and Johnson, and that's why you are plaintiff in error. So you cannot sue another man in another man's name. Um, more is in the Bible. Go get the Geneva Bible, and you'll see. And this is going to crack open a lot of stuff. More is in the Bible, but that is in the earlier translations. The further you get along away from the original text, this is where you'll get the the Prince James version, the King James version. That's the further they get away from when they did use the word more. And more, um, when you do the research, it'll tell you in that Bible, right in that Bible, the Geneva Bible, it will tell you that more, they broke up the word Ethiopian, Canaanite, Hittite, Amorite, Jebusite, um, Amorites. All of they broke them all up and made them sound like they're different people, and they're the same people, same bloodline, under one nation and different tribes. And they use that to separate so you can be confused. It says it right in the Bible, in that Bible. Um, yes, the different tribes inside the Moorish nationality. Like for example, at Maryland, you have the Powhatan tribe, you have the Pump Monkey tribe, you have the Nanacoke, which I'm a part of, and a lot of people who will join our tribe will be a part of. You have the Susquehannock, you have the I just had a mind blank, but you have so many different tribes all over under that nation. Um, how do we get our names back? We claim it. I just read the Constitution said no titles of nobility shall be granted. So nobody ain't gonna give it to you. You can't go down to the courthouse and try to change your name and pay them to change it. Nobody gonna grant it to you. You have to take it. You have to claim it, right? And that's when you know it will be yours. Um, how do we find out what bloodline or tribe we are? You are the Moabite, Canaanite, Hittite bloodline, but you look more specifically at the. If you want to look for the tribe, you have to ask your direct ancestors, um, and you do a lot of these DNA testings and stuff like that. I'm not for. I'm not knocking on anything like that, but if you do the testing from three different companies, you'll get three different results. So that shows you right there. And then you look at who's behind these DNA testing. A lot of the Methodist Church owns them. So just keep that in mind. But if you do the research, it's not going to be hard to find it at all. And you can actually trace the actual the last name that you have, trace that to the so-called slave master of that time, and look at those tribes that he had enslaved or oppressed, I should say. Dr. York is still the master teacher. He wrote the book Let's Set the Record Straight. I'm not seeing any titles for it. The women, a lot of the women are naturally ill. Okay, a lot of the women are ills because they lay down the law. Okay, no matter how you look at it, they lay down the law and men enforce it. So, for example, women lay down the length, angle, and width, the law of the child, and she in the house she sets the uh, law. She laid the law down, and the man enforce it with his rules. So she will give birth to the child, and she'll say, uh, "I don't want my child outside." Um, you know, when it's dark, and the father will come along and say, "You better be in here when the light poles come on." He's enforcing the rule. Or you better be in here before 7. You know, they lay down the law and we enforce it. And a lot of this goes on in our community, and we're not even aware, consciously aware of what's taking place. Okay, so let me see. Do I believe in Jesus? Um, believe. we went over earlier what believe means. Believe means, if you look at the root word, Lie, lie. Okay, and then let's do the etymology of what believe means. And Jesus wasn't his name. There was no J in the Hebrew language. All right, so his name was Yeshua ben Yosef. Um, so yes, I know that he was our brother. He taught. He was a master of the law as himself, and he was a Moabite. His great great grandmother was Ruth the Moabitess. So yes, he's of our bloodline, and I know he existed. In different languages, different things. He's called Heru. He's called Isa. He's called a lot of different things and a lot of different religions. Languages in different cultures. I'm sorry, but yeah, yeah. So I definitely know that he existed, but not in the way that they said. Oh, and I'm gonna and I have a series that I'm gonna do to go over all of the different Aboriginal tribes in each territory. So that'll give you some help. Put them out in video format. I filed my UCC 3 years ago, but then I will work it. Yeah. Okay, UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. You shouldn't be doing it. I'm just gonna say that. Um, as far as claiming your nationality, because that's a whole nother platform. You don't have to do a uniform commercial code in order to proclaim a nationality. Um, we're not sovereign citizens. That's an oxymoron. That's what the Europeans have put out there, so a lot of people can run to that when they first wake up to this information. But we stand on the Constitution, Amendment 9. You have a, let me read that. Amendment 9 of the Constitution. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. All rights reserved. You have a right to, uh, you have a right to reserve your rights, and all your rights that is not written in this Constitution is still being reserved as long as you don't waive them. Okay, so you don't have to do UCCs to claim nationality. You can do your proclamations and your declarations. Y'all think y'all gonna rise up on this system? Okay, no, we don't think we're gonna rise up on the system. We know that this system will crumble. We don't have to rise up on it. It's already fallen. We see the evidence, and um, we actually, when we taught them Benjamin Banneker, his real name is Benjamin. His real name is Ben Bay. Um, Chief Justice Ben Bay Mu Emmanuel Ali. That's his real name. He taught the Europeans our government when we were fallen so that they could preserve our government until we woke up again. And uh, the changing of the guard is actually taking place. So, no, we don't have to buck against the system because the system is crumbling. We just have to know who we are so we can be at the table and know what's going on. What will we use for ID, if any? A nationality card. Um, you would have nationality cards, national identification cards, um, and that will identify you, help to identify you in law um, properly from your national descent and your bloodline. After you send out your proclamations, the next step in the process is to learn the treaty, learn the Constitution, and enforce the Constitution. Okay, and not only that, I mean, you got a lot of learning to do. Law, history, religion, cosmology. We're going to get to that classes and stuff like that. I know that, but you must us know that the ancestors are here in the starships. Oh yeah, they are in the starships, and from the ancient texts we have the prophecies that they um, will actually activate when we come into the knowledge. No, no, we are not Indians and Moors. Indians are from India. That's point blank. Chinese people are from China. You can't say I'm a Chinese Moor. I'm a Chinese Moor in America. Okay, what they gonna say? You're incompetent. You can't say I'm an Indian. We were the Indians because the Europeans told us we was Indians. No, Indians are from India, and Indians from India don't even call themselves Indians, and they don't even call India India. I've been there. I went there. I'm international travel. It's called uh, Hindustan, Sindhi. That's what they call it. And they know that they're Moors. They know that they come from our bloodline. So a lot of people putting out false information. So Moors are Islam, not the not the dogma. No, it's an acronym for I, self, law, and master. I, self, law, and master. We are. It's not a dogma religion, or we pray to all of these people in the sky. It's none of that. Okay, it's I, self, law, and master. Do we have respect for a creator? Yes, we do. But it's no dogma. Did they use frequencies to put us to sleep? Yes. A lot of the songs that's being played is played on a frequency that is not A equals 432 hertz, and they actually use that frequency to in classical music, okay, which will activate a lot of the sensory perception in the brain. A lot of the music, trap music, all that stuff, it destroys the chakras, and they have done testing on this stuff to see. They play all the music today on certain notes and certain frequencies, um, and they have three verses and three choruses. Like they these are the common how they dumb people down through the song. Mm, yes, we follow universal laws. Yes, exactly. What about traveling abroad once you have a nationality card? Um, you can travel abroad, um, but it's more so about the visa from the nation. The most powerful, only I think 6 or 7 nations issue their own visas. So yeah. Okay, strange fruit. What's your question?
Hey, brother Isaiah.
Islam all.
Yeah, peace more. Yeah, Islam. Yeah, we're gonna go for about like another maybe about like yeah, because I know it's at least about twelve
Yeah, it's
fifteen.
yeah.
Yeah, so we probably go for like another few more minutes because I know a lot of it's getting late for us. It's like past midnight. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
people. Drawing a lot of information. We really, you know, what I mean, I even not trying to cut you off. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
But
I
I just
appreciate it.
got you though, bro. Yeah, I just wanna, you know what I mean. I know people on here drawing information. You know what I mean, but we definitely want to be mindful of the time and stuff like that, and also for others. So it's not
Hmm.
me cutting the brother off because he been giving a lot of information, and this the reason why I've been doing the streams like this, so I can give the guests the floor and they could ask and answer any questions. So just wanted to be mindful with the time and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Just give you about a good like 10 more minutes, and we'll be ready to close it out.
Okay. Yep. Let me see. Right. I was watching a debate with young Pharaoh, and the guy said he was a corporation. Is this true? Um, I'm not sure I comprehend your question. Was young Pharaoh? You saying it was the person saying that young Pharaoh was a corporation? Shem in the Bible? Yeah, the three sons. Yes. Yeah, because you got Shem, Japheth, and the other one. The only ID that you truly need to have, and I don't want this to confuse people, the only true ID that you need to have for identification is self, right? Because you identify who you are in law. Um, you can express it on a piece of paper, on a rock, on a shoe. That can be your identification as long as you're competent and know how to, but it's always going back to self. And when we get that principle from a national perspective, then we'll be able to solve a lot of the type of things that's happening to our people. Um, you'll be able to say, okay, if this person is putting the real identification act out, but they're not identifying people, they're just saying this is the real ID. What was the last ID? Was that the fake one? Okay, but this is the real ID. Okay, so how are we going to deal with these people? No, we're going to put them on notice and tell them this is what we're going to use to identify ourselves. And since you're acting like a trustee, because all of our land have been claimed since 1492 and under the IMF, I want you to dismiss yourself as trustee because I'm competent now. Moors with commercial driver's license. Well, if you are doing commerce, then you have a commercial driver's license. Yes, because that's applies commerce commercial. Um, but if you're just traveling, you don't need a driver's license. And for let me clarify that because I know people going to say, "Let me throw this driver's license in the trash because we don't need it." That's true, but you also need to learn how to enforce it. Don't just do stuff. Learn the process first. It would be absolutely wise to study trust law because the Constitution is a trust, the treaty is a trust. These documents are held up. The Circle Seven. This is a trust. Trust law is in operation today, and we offer trust law classes. How to protect and put your assets in a trust and secure it and pass it down through generations. What other ID is needed? You don't need any other ID. Just your nationality card. Notice of rescission of signature and a reversion. Yes. Rescission of signature is to rescind your signature on all contracts that you didn't have full disclosure on and that are really not contracts or applications. And the reversioner is to reclaim your estate. Empress B, exactly. Willie Rivers, you can change that your first and last name to completely Moorish or Arabic or Hebrew or whatever. hmm They're all pirates working on maritime law, and you're in their sea of corruption, I should say, because they deal with the ships, like you mentioned, friendship, sponsorship, townships, courtship, all of these different things. They're trying to put you on a boat to dock, okay, and they're trying to get you to um, give over the goods, okay, and they're trying to say that you are the goods, okay, you are the actual chattel. So that's why y'all come back on dry land, okay. You are in the waters. When you're black, Negro, color, African American, Hispanic, Latino, you are on the waters. You are dead and lost at sea. That's why you must come back on land and stand with the rest of the nations. Do you pay dues? Yes, you're supposed to pay dues to your nation. Battleship. All right, Moors. Uh, well, this was a very pleasant one. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and for having me. Um, Looking forward to working with everyone and sharing more information in the future. I'm so grateful for Brother B Miles for again even setting up the platform and then allowing me to even come on. Thankful for the brother and I'm thankful for brother B Forte. These are some powerful brothers, and I tell you, like I mean, yeah, this means a lot to me because, like we said, it's positive, it's high energy, and we're doing something great. And I'm thankful for these brothers, and they really putting in the work, y'all. So really support these brothers. Like they're putting in the work. Um, and I thank you all for having me again. And again, get them your emails and let's build.
All right, peace. And once again, I definitely got to say it's been another powerful stream. And what we're going to do is we're going to close it out for the night. So thank you all for everybody being on the stream, for staying up this late. We've been on for 2.5 hours,
Oh,
107 strong. And like I said, we're going to keep this going, family. So like I said, peace, love, and light, family. My love once again. Peace, and we out.